Hey guys, welcome back to Two Girls, One Bong.
The show that's better when you're stoned, and I will just go to Antarctica and slap a penguin if you're not. My name is Mac Dizzle.
And I'm Joya. You might recognize us from your favorite viral video, or you might have been watching our content for the last 8 years.
If you're new here, welcome. We are the original two girls, and we've been making content together for almost a decade.
We are so excited to have you here listening.
Let's dive
dive
on
in.
in.
All right.
All right. First things first, we got to shout out to our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you currently by High 90s.
Ooh.
As you can see, they're here on my mic. Ooh.
Hell
That's
yeah.
the song that I wrote for them.
That's beautiful.
They paid me $10,000 for that. Can you believe it?
I totally can, because it was very much a $10,000 song. Let's be real.
They were going to do Beyonce, but then I said, I can do it. I can do it. Don't even trip about her.
They actually were going to get it for cheaper from Beyonce, but they were like,
yeah,
no.
she's in the new jingle business, so she's just trying to get her feet going. So she's giving out deals. Wow. High 90s though. Shout out to High 90s. If you don't know what High 90s is, they are predominantly a pre-roll brand, but they're also a cannabis brand located here in California. And if I can do anything for you, it is to tell your dispensary to put High 90s in it.
Period. Request, because their shit is fucking bomb.
It is. It's extremely good. It's a great company. We really love them. They believe in this podcast. And so I mentioned it last episode, and I'm going to say it again. I want them to see what a wonderful, amazing, and dedicated following that we have. So I would really appreciate it if everyone could go follow their Instagram. It'll be pinned. No, it'll be in the description of this episode. But make sure you're following the correct Instagram, because there are some fakes running around out there. They only have 2 legit Instagrams. They are both going to be located in the description of this video. So make sure you are following those.
Hell yeah. And don't forget we have a discount code on their website for merch. It's discount code 2G1B. So
yes,
go get your merch.
Yeah, they have a ton of different merch. I'm not wearing any today, but we did last episode. So if you didn't get to see what we were wearing, go check the last episode that we uploaded.
Yeah. And they have a new Pride tote this month.
Right
you do? Oh my God. Get it. Yeah. We fucking love High 90s. So if y'all haven't tried them yet and you're in California, you better go get you some. Oh my God. She's so cute. Aw. Love a good rainbow moment. Oh, Pride. Love it. So cute. So you can get that.
Happy
I assume
Pride,
this month.
all my queer babies.
Yes, period. Happy Pride.
So they have that tote available. And their whole branding is super colorful and rainbow. So, which,
yes, as we know, right. our girl, our rainbow girl.
You didn't know, but Joya is physically violent with items on her desk when they don't act appropriately. So that's what happened just now.
It was my water bottle. Sorry, guys. What I was trying to
what did it do?
It fell off my desk and onto the ground. I was trying to get this to show how dedicated we are to the rainbows.
To the rainbows. I don't even have mine in here right now. But today I have some watermelon sherbet. Why is it sherbet? Why can't it just be sherbet? It's sherbet.
Yeah.
Everyone pronounces it that way. Nobody says, "Oh, I want some sherbet." No, they're like, "Oh, I want sherbet." Like, we all pronounce it that way.
I think
collectively.
Yeah.
Collectively, let's just all agree to change it.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy. That's what this is. It's a conspiracy.
No, it's one of those. It is conspiracy, but have you ever heard the term Mandela effect or Mandela effect?
Yes. So that is a conspiracy too. So that's how I was trying to tie all this in. Welcome to the conspiracy episode. All right. So you want to hear a fake conspiracy that I recently, when I was drunk, I discovered?
Yes.
So olives, right? This is my own conspiracy. It probably, this is just a Mac Dizzle conspiracy that doesn't have many legs.
Right.
But when you buy olives, they say they're pimento stuffed olives, right?
Yes.
Right. I love pimento stuffed olives. They're delicious. Okay. So yeah. I always thought a pimento was this red gelatinous thing, because that's what comes inside of olives. And it does not specify that is not a pimento. It says pimento stuffed olives. So I've run my whole life thinking that pimentos are like jelly type things inside of olives, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the other day, I went to the store and I bought a jar of pimentos because I said, oh, I love the insides of olives. I'm gonna love this. Wrong. They're fucking peppers. They're like a pepper. It's like
Yeah.
a stringy pepper.
I know that because we have a little thing called pimento cheese here in Texas.
And it's like got
And
peppers in it.
it's got peppers in it. It's like cheese and it's got peppers in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So upon further research, I looked at the fucking olive jar. It is what does it say on it? It literally it says like it's like a pimento flavored. I need to go find it. Hold on.
Oh my God. Okay. I can't believe I'm going to need to see what the texture of said thing she's talking about is, because if she said she thought that pimento was like gelatinous, like that is pretty fucking funny. Okay, here she comes. She's back.
It's a pimento paste that they make into gelatin.
Oh my God. That's kind
We're
of
being lied to.
That's disgusting.
It's actually really good though.
Well, I know, but like that is like I know you love it, so I love that for you. But that sounds so not.
Yeah.
That sounds gross.
Yeah,
a gelatinous pepper. Pepper's made
literally-
into gelatin.
It says the ingredients: queen olives, water, pimento paste (parentheses), pimento sodium alginate, guar gum, calcium chloride.
Scary.
Delicious. I'm gonna eat one.
You and your olives.
I do love olives.
You do love olives more than
Anyway,
anybody
so-
that I know.
There's a conspiracy in the olive community trying to lie about what a pimento is.
Yeah. Clearly,
Because there are some olives that have real pimentos in them too.
I imagine that those exist. They have to,
Oh.
right?
Am I saying this wrong? It says pimiento.
Well, yeah. So pimiento means pepper in
Oh.
Spanish. Yeah.
Well, I'm an idiot, aren't I?
No. People pronounce it pimento, but it's in Spanish pimiento for sure.
It literally says queen olive stuffed with pimiento. Lies.
Yeah.
Stuffed with pimiento jelly.
Pimiento jelly. Yeah, that is very interesting, and that's a conspiracy that I would like to examine further. So
Yeah, I would love to know what's going on in there.
let's take a bong rippy.
Yes. I have to grind it a little bit. I'm sorry.
I just had to grind some too. I left my other grinder in my living room, and so I just did this is filled with CBD weed that I don't want to mess with.
Oh my god.
So I did this. I took the top and I took the lid and I went.
Oh, nice.
So this is like my little container. Yeah.
I love
What
that.
do you have?
This is watermelon sherbet. Actually, this one spells sherbet.
Sherbet.
It spells sherbet.
It is
a
a
sherbet. Yeah, on this one it says sherbet.
How did we just
Respect to high 90s for I don't know, maybe it just like manifested onto the content.
I know, right? It's just like looking
But I thought it said sherbet because I'm so used to seeing sherbet because that's what it's called.
Shout out.
Wow,
high 90s.
I wish I could give you a close up on this, but I don't want to get in trouble with the maybe mid episode I will. Like 30
For like
minutes
a
in,
second.
so.
Just like super fast.
But I wish one day they're gonna have the technology to share smells and somebody's gonna do something terrible with that. Me personally, I'm gonna share this smell though.
Somebody's gonna do something terrible with that.
Yes, you just know it.
Mine smells really good too.
What do you have?
Mine is 90s OG.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a bong rip. And then I want to tell you something.
Oh yeah, you said you had to show me something and she wouldn't show me before we started recording. So I can't wait to see what this
I
is.
think you're gonna like it. Well, I don't know how much you're gonna like it, but I think you're gonna giggle.
Yeah. But also let it be known that the rest of this episode we're gonna be talking about our favorite conspiracy theories. My favorite conspiracy theory is the flat earth conspiracy theory.
I cannot wait to hear more about this.
Oh, I love it. All right. Thank you for using the Mac Dizzle bong.
Of course.
Where the fuck? Okay. Those are still available, by the way. You can get one.
Ooh. And I bet you there's a
comment.
discount code 2G1B.
Mm-hmm. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Show me what you're going to show me.
So, I was telling you before we started recording that I went on a river float this weekend.
Yes.
Um, well, I did not. I'm just gonna send you a picture to your phone,
Okay.
and I'm gonna send it to both you and Dev. Let me know when you get it. We'll obviously put it up on the screen so that y'all can see it too. Anybody who's watching.
Here we go. Oh.
So basically, I
It was that can see the holes from the cross.
so I have a pretty bad sunburn right now. I just got off Accutane and I was ready for the sun to roast me because I haven't been able to be in the sun in months. So I actually was doing really well. Well, minus the foot part. I forgot to put sunscreen down there completely. There's no sunscreen on there. So it was bad. And by the time I remembered, it was too late. Like it's, so, but I put sunscreen on the rest of my body, but I didn't keep reapplying like I should have. So I'm going to stand up and I'm going to show you my belly.
Oh, girl. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And also,
I love that there's lines where like the roll goes.
yeah, it's the
I've
belly
noticed
rolls.
those.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
noticed that because that happens to me too. That's the only
Yeah.
reason I'm like, at
And
least part of my body was protected.
Yeah. And I also, these right here, the armpit boobs,
Yeah.
got it real bad. But yeah, I was laying on a tube for hours, and so the belly rolls were they were in effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been slathering myself with lotion
Aloe.
aloe and lotion and Aquaphor for the last 48 hours, like every 30 minutes.
Sorry.
That's okay. Are they all good?
I don't know. It sounded like somebody was at the door. I don't know. I don't care.
Uh,
Nothing gives me more anxiety than people knocking on my door.
yeah. Yeah. It's like, well, who are you and what the fuck do you want? That's like, yeah, I have a sign that says don't fucking knock. It doesn't say fucking. It says don't knock or ring doorbell. Are you talking to me? You're not talking to me, are you? Talking to Rajul.
Sorry, yeah.
It's okay. Okay. Awesome. Well, should we
Gorge, let's dive into some conspiracy theories. What did you look into?
I looked into, well, there is just a bunch of weird ocean mysteries.
Okay.
So I looked into those, and then also the Bermuda Triangle, which is also ocean stuff. So
why don't we just start with the Bermuda Triangle since we both know a little bit about it? I remember seeing a quote, and it was like, when I was younger, I thought the Bermuda Triangle was going to be a way bigger problem for me.
yeah. Like, wait, that's also like, I saw somebody say that about quicksand.
Yeah. I thought quicksand was going to be a huge issue in my life. Truly.
Yeah.
Never even came across quicksand in my life. Not once. Nor have I ever been to the Bermuda Triangle.
Right. And don't plan on being there. So
here's what I know about the Bermuda Triangle. Here's the conspiracy that looms around the Bermuda Triangle. In the 60s is when a lot of this fan fiction, I will call it, started to take off. Because there was it's a very high traffic area. A lot of boats and a lot of aircrafts go through there. So the odds of losing something it's gonna happen.
right. There's such a frequency of
exactly.
things. Yeah.
The strange thing about it is they would say that these planes and these boats would go missing. They'd go missing. They'd go missing without a trace. And there's no evidence of them. You can't find these things anywhere. And so like a lot of lore and like stories started to fuel around these things because it is kind of a weird area. In the sense that the weather and the cloud formations are super bizarre out there. They have hexagonal clouds. And I don't ask me to explain what that means, but basically the way that these clouds are formed, they can do these huge bursts of air sometimes. And so that can cause waves that can also sometimes hit planes when these bursts of air are going, and they're extremely powerful.
Ah.
So there is very inclement weather for planes and stuff in that area because of the cloud formations that happen in that area. But basically the conspiracy is that there's aliens or Atlantis, or there's people like abducting and taking these ships from this area. All right,
Yeah.
that's basically what the conspiracy theory is.
Right. Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No.
You
Oh.
bitch. You go.
But I've looked into this before because I remember being fascinated by it. I was like, why don't we know anything about it yet? And then I went on the internet and found out we in fact do. We know a lot. So all of these ships that like went missing and you couldn't find them, scientists went down there and they started doing tests with like balls and floaties just to see how the currents worked out there. And there are some bizarre currents that go through that water. Not bizarre, but like currents that you can't really see from up above. They're like underwater currents. And so when ships were falling and stuff, they would fall into these currents, and so the debris would be moved somewhere away from the accident.
Right.
So they were able to find a lot of shipwrecks and things like that just based off of seeing where these currents went to. So there are very strong currents that go through those waters. And additionally, like I said, it's a very high traffic area. There's a lot of boats and planes that are flying through there on a daily basis. But when you look at the statistics of plane and boat loss in that area compared to other areas,
It's
no different. It's literally like no different. It's the same. It just really what started was there was this one author in the 60s who heard about this. It was basically this military flight. This whole team of people went missing. And then the rescue mission to go find them also went missing.
Oh, fuck.
And so from that, this author who worked for this magazine started this series called The Deadly Bermuda Triangle, and just fanned a lot of air on the flames of,
right,
this is some scary, dangerous place. But it was just the 60s. They didn't have much to do, much technology or whatever. Right. But yeah, everything now is explained through science. And that's really what comes down to a lot of these conspiracies is they're just debunked by straight up just science.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Like, it seems like there's actually many things that could have happened to all these vessels.
No, and they're saying that sometimes there's up to like 100-foot waves out there, like 95-foot waves. So if you're a low-flying aircraft, boom, that's taking you out of the sky. If you're a ship, goodbye. That's a huge motherfucking wave. But even boats, so cargo ships, which are those huge tankers with the what are those things called?
The box thingies.
Yeah, what are those called? The crates? No.
Yeah.
They have a specific name. It's the thing that you see those big truckers driving. What are they called? Anyways, doesn't matter. Shipping container.
Yeah. Shipping
so those big ass shipping containers. They said that they basically asked a bunch of captains or whatever, people who do a bunch of cargo ship stuff, what are the most dangerous parts of the ocean to navigate, and the Bermuda Triangle wasn't even up there. Wow. It didn't even make like an honorable mention.
Just for funsies.
There's like places in it's like the Black Sea, like there's like places off of Britain that are like, it's just really, really bad waters out there. And the Bermuda Triangle is just it has the potential, because that's where hurricanes and stuff form, because basically what's happening is the water is warm but the air is cold,
right? And so that's when that's how tornadoes start too, is like cold and hot, or
exactly,
or vice versa.
It's just a melting pot for storms to happen. It just has the perfect environment for it.
I just thought, I don't remember which, because I know we've also learned about tornadoes like on this show, and I remember them saying that it's like hot and cold, but I don't know which way it is, and in my brain just went, so cold wants to go down and hot wants to go up. So it's probably when cold is up and hot is down. And
that would make sense. Yeah, because they were saying the water is warm and the air is cold. So obviously the water is underneath, the cold air is up top.
That is also, I think I told you how, and I'm sure you've heard that there's an El Nino coming like off the Pacific. So that's why y'all haven't gotten your
sun.
Yeah. But it has to do with the temperature of the ocean, and when the ocean gets a little warmer, then the moisture off the ocean goes up into the air, and there's more
warmth in the air, and that
and it,
creates
more moisture up into the
yeah.
the moisture goes up. Look at how fucking literally this looks so ridiculous.
Your
This
redness.
yes, I'm gonna need to
To be fair, it doesn't like from here. It doesn't look that red, but I can tell it's a sunburn just based off the line.
yeah
Like it usually fades into a softer line once it's healed.
yeah,
But
and I'm waiting patiently for that moment. I
but
yeah.
yeah, when it's that stark line, like straight line, you just know it's fresh.
I can already I mean, honestly, it already has made such a big improvement in the last,
That's
like,
good.
since honestly Sunday night. I was like, "Whoa." Like, I was still so, like, hot. Um, but anyway, yeah, I, am not surprised that, uh, the Bermuda Triangle has
Been
lots of
explained.
scientific explanations,
Yeah.
like,
They're they know what's happening out there. It's not a huge mystery anymore. But it was
yeah.
fun. It was fun for a moment.
Kind of, yeah, like, that was just, like, the big one of the big questions. It reminds me of how, like, everybody well, it's different, but the Cold War, they were all like, "Ugh." They were all so scared that something is gonna happen. Every, like, generation has those things. Anyway, just speaking of the ocean stuff, there was a boat that left Australia that had 3 people on it,
Okay.
and it was mysteriously found like drifting in the ocean with the motor on, but all of the people were missing
Gone.
and there was
Did they
no
find them?
sign. No. And there was like no sign of foul play. Like there was like nothing broken or like blood anywhere or like
So, hear me out. Here's my theory. The engine's running, right? So it's just kind of moving.
yeah.
So they were drunk. These Aussies got a little drunk, hopped off the boat to get a little dippy dip,
You
and the
think all
boat
3 of them?
sailed away. Yeah, yeah, I do. I
You
don't
think
know.
that all
Maybe
3
the boat
people?
sailed. Maybe the boat was moving, and the person on the craft couldn't figure out how to stop it. They weren't, privy to how to sail a boat. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much human error that happens. So I'm less conspiracy on that one, more pro. They made a mistake somewhere. Oops and
Yeah,
oopsie.
that makes
Oh.
sense.
But it is kind of bizarre that they didn't find their bodies or anything. But the ocean is vast and it is large, and maybe one day they will
So
turn up.
yeah, yeah. There's so many possibilities and
Do
what could
bones sink? They do, because basically how
yes.
it works is like when like a whale dies, it'll float at the surface
Yes.
for a really really long time, and then eventually it sinks to the bottom.
Yeah. I did you see I saw something recently that showed
Blue
how
Planet.
was it Blue Planet?
It
How where it
was.
shows all the um oh my god, I'm frozen. Am I frozen for you?
No, 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 you're good.
Oh, thank God. Okay. It shows how much like how many
Life it
creatures
supports. Yeah.
yes, that's a great way to put it. How much life it supports because it feeds so many animals over
Sharks,
years. Yeah.
critters on the
And
floor,
yeah, and it was like I swear it said like it was like feeding like animals for
generations.
like yeah, like years. And yeah, who
We've been
knows?
eating this whale for the last 3 generations.
Well,
It'll
yeah,
never run out.
fish generations are probably way less than ours.
Yeah.
So, um, also just like another like just insane. Just talking about how crazy the ocean is. I remember hearing when I was a kid, even like we know more about space than we do about the ocean.
Yeah.
And one of just the crazy fucking phenomena in the ocean is the Mariana Trench
Mhm.
and
Do
how
we not know how deep it is yet?
it says 36,200 feet.
How many miles is that?
Well,
Is that a mile deep?
yes. So yes, a mile is 5,000 feet. So it's about 7 miles deep. It's more than 5,000, but yeah. So it's about 7 miles. Yeah, fucking crazy. This says that you could stick Mount Everest in it and there would be an extra 7,000, so over a mile feet of extra water on top. And there's only been 4
What's down
expeditions.
there?
Yeah, like fucking crazy.
Because guess
Insane.
what? If you know one thing about humans, we can't do it down there. We can't go that
No.
deep. We
Hell
really
no.
can't do it. And so hide there. Hide there,
Yeah.
because we're not coming for you, queen.
Yeah. Dude, I actually saw something recently and maybe it was Blue Planet as well. shout out fucking nature documentaries, dude. I
Shout out
fucking
Blue Planet, BBC specifically. They
yeah.
spent like a decade
Oh
making
yeah.
that thing. It
Oh
was
yeah.
so good.
I also there is on Apple TV, they have Prehistoric Planet. So it's like all
Oh,
dinosaurs and it's really interesting.
interesting.
I've been watching
Yeah.
that one. But yeah, I think it was in Blue Planet. They said that they recently proved that life can exist without,
On the without
yeah,
light.
on the ocean floor without sunlight. Yeah.
Well, what they found is species that they thought couldn't survive in those conditions are just down there. There was like an angelfish on the ocean floor, which was like they
Uh,
didn't think that animals that had those kind of systems in their body could
right.
live in that kind of pressure with no light, no sun, whatever. But then they saw it and they're like, every time we go deeper, we find out something new. We're like, oh, we
Yeah.
were wrong.
Yeah. Which is like,
Yeah,
that's exactly, yeah, it's fucking crazy. There's so much in there. Like, God only
so
knows.
much. But also, okay, so that's hilarious because the Mariana Trench is 7 miles deep. So let's get into flat Earth because I know I used to be friends with a person who thought that the Earth was flat, and
No, you
so
did not.
yes, I did. You know, Amanda.
Oh my God. Oh
Yeah,
my
my
God.
co-star from Two Girls One Bong thought the Earth was flat. And I respected her, so I really had to try to get inside of her brain and understand why the fuck she thought this.
Oh
And
my
I can only come to the conclusion that she's just I don't want to say she's not smart, but like she's willfully ignoring science.
Yeah,
Willfully.
right.
Um so basically what happened is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, scientists figured out that the earth is round. The Egyptians ever well, I don't know if the Egyptians knew that
Galileo was the first,
literally.
like, yeah,
And how old does that guy sound?
yeah. Come with a
That's
fucking
not
name
that's
like.
not, I'm gonna name my kid Galileo. I'm
Actually,
bringing
it
the name
wasn't
back.
Galileo. He said that we revolve around the sun, that not everything
Yeah, so
revolves
I
around
think
the earth. So
he
even
yeah, they
before that, we knew that the
yeah.
earth was.
But basically, flat earthers believe that the earth is a disc. Okay, the earth is a disc, and this disc is surrounded by this big ice wall, and that's what we call Antarctica. But Antarctica is just this big wall of ice that keeps all of the
Oh,
water in. It just
okay.
keeps all of the water in. And there's no such thing as gravity. Gravity's not real. We're all actually moving upwards at a pace of like 9.8 something per second. Like they have a whole different equation for like what's happening. They said we're all moving up. It's very confusing. But basically what they think is so there's this big pancake planet, which where the fuck does the trench go? Is it just a 7 mile divot underneath the planet? Does it just go into space? Is that what's happening? Is that what that would make sense? It's not the Mariana Trench. You're actually just entering space from the ocean. You're just exiting out the butt.
It would make sense for space to be like water and crazy. That would be
I
nuts.
wouldn't be surprised if
Right.
like we went into space and they're like it's actually the ocean. I'd be like valid.
Yeah, makes
I get
sense.
that.
Yeah.
But this disc is floating through space, and the sun goes around in a circle above the Earth. But there's like there's this like much of flat Earth. It contradicts itself. They say because how can you explain some areas like Alaska having whatever Antarctica, Alaska having a full day of sunlight, like the sun does not set for them.
Or a full day of darkness.
Or a full
Either
day of
way, yeah.
darkness. Like it's just there's so much like the number one thing that people say about flat earth is like to disprove it, they're like just watch a boat. Watch a boat. Once it gets far enough on the ocean, you will see it disappear bottom up. Okay? That is how a boat disappears every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And people will try to be like, "Wait, look." Then they'll be really far away from a boat and then they'll take out their really shitty camera and then they'll zoom really really close in and you can see the full boat. I'm like, "Okay, keep it on there for an hour." Showing me that you're still within the vision line, that's not fixing it for me. Wait an hour.
Yeah.
It's
Or
like there's a
more.
reason
Like
you can't see Las Vegas from Texas.
Right.
And it's not just because there's like mountains and stuff in the way. Because if you stood high enough up to at a certain point from Texas, you should be able to see over the mountains to Vegas, right?
Right. You'd think.
But you
Yeah.
can't. You literally
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
So it's just I see flat Earth people doing mental gymnastics, just trying. So here, anytime they're presented with science that disputes what they say, they're like, no, that's a conspiracy. It's a government conspiracy. Like,
Uh-huh.
okay, hear me out. Hear me out. So you think Kim Jong Un, Trump, Putin, whoever the fuck is in charge of the UK, all of these people are just on the same page about this one thing. They said, you can't starve your people and you can't make nukes, but do we all agree that these people can't know that the earth is flat? We all agree that this is global chaos if this were to get out. And I remember watching a documentary trying to I literally went and watched pro flat earth arguments. Like, this
Yeah.
proves 100% that the earth is flat. Like, I watched those things. And one of the things that people said of why there's this big global conspiracy, they said they don't want people going to the ice wall and finding the edge. You know, there'd be chaos. Be people just going to the edge. Okay. And what? A couple people die? Is that like, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
confused. I'm confused like why we don't want them going to this ice wall. I'm confused about that. And also they always say no one's ever flown over Alaska or Antarctica and you're not allowed to go to Antarctica. No one's allowed to go there.
Which
And
is
that's
not
why
true.
it's not true. There's fucking jobs in Antarctica. You can go
I
get a
know
job there.
someone who literally went on a fucking cruise to
You
Antarctica.
can go cruises. There's tourist stuff. Like, you can go to Antarctica. It's not just a giant ice wall. There's places for you to go. Didn't I say I was gonna slap a penguin from Antarctica?
You did. You did. You did.
It's
Which
all tied into
proves
it.
that you can go to Antarctica.
Yeah, but I was watching this video by this pilot, because pilots obviously are a pretty good source of knowledge of the Earth, because you have to know a lot about the planet in order to fly. He was saying they have this specific type of map. So the world map that we look at is obviously wrong because it's based on a sphere. They have a different map that shows it as a pancake. And so they say it's proven because certain cities don't have direct flights, but this map would create a direct flight between those places. And that's why, like, it's just like bizarre things.
I'm looking up the map, the flat
Look
Earth
up the map. Look up the map. So one thing you'll notice about this map immediately is there's no scale on it. They don't have scales on this map because it would disprove its validity, because if you measure the distance between two cities on that scale, it's not going to be accurate, because it's just not it. We know the distance between LA and San Diego. Okay, I can drive in my car and see that distance. Done.
Yeah.
Based on this map, because there's no scale, that distance between LA and San Diego could be vastly different than what it actually is. Because on a map, they have a scale that's like 1 inch equals 300 miles, right? And so you should be able to go on the map, measure an inch, and the point between there and there should be 300 miles. So you could see, okay, Colorado to wherever is 300 miles based on that inch. You can't do that on this map because the proportions on the map are so fucked that a trip from San Diego to LA might be 400 miles instead of 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm dying. There's a picture that has these sort of like, I don't know what they are on the picture, but it makes it look like a trampoline. Like it gives it like, it looks like, yeah, it gives it legs. Yeah, I am.
But this,
dying.
so anyways, this pilot was like, okay, so it was very facetious, but he was really smart about it. He was like, okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want the richest flat earther to make this trip. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to fly from this point to this point. It's from like Miami to somewhere in South America. According to the regular world map, down here, South America. Then from there, South America, you're going to go to Australia. So it's down again, whatever, down to the side. If it was their map, that flight from wherever to Australia would take 27 hours, which is not within the range of a 747. And flights from here to Australia already exist. So you in 747s, and it only takes like 8 hours. It's like an 8-hour flight. So, in order to make that trip happen, you would have to fly. If the Earth was flat, you would have to fly north instead of south because Australia, according to that map, is on the other fucking side of the fucking planet. And so you'd have to go from here and fly up now to Australia. And that would take 27 hours on that flight. If that was what the world looked like.
Right.
And he was saying, look, and if you don't believe me, bring a compass on board. Have watchers see the direction that the plane is going.
Yeah.
You know, because like you really think it's this massive conspiracy. Like, why? Why is every other planet round?
Yeah. And we also are talking about like the government officials, like, which are definitely people, you know, if there was a
Trump
conspiracy
is
like
showing classified information right now as we're speaking. You think he
Yeah,
could
dude.
keep the moon conspiracy under his belt?
Oh my God. Literally no fucking chance. And also, it's not just them. It's like everyone that works for NASA and has ever worked for NASA. And like every fucking, we're talking about like plane pilots, like also every fucking astronaut. Like,
What about that one guy who jumped up for Red Bull? He's lying too. Do you remember when he
what?
jumped? He was like outside of the atmosphere when he did a parachute jump.
Oh.
Have you seen that video? Because
No,
you
I
know how
haven't
Red Bull
seen it.
does like the extreme sports?
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy basically
I
did a
do
free
remember
jump
that.
from outside of the Earth. Like, and you can see the Earth is fucking round.
Yeah.
It's his video.
Yeah. Yeah. That is.
You should look it up. It is a scary fucking. Nothing scares me more than space and heights. Like, it's the scariest thing in the world to me. But also, so how do you explain a sunset with a flat Earth? Where's the sun going? Because according to the flat Earth, the sun rotates around it. Okay, and some people believe that there's a firmament which holds all of the atmosphere in, and nobody's ever exited the firmament. So all of the moon landings are fake, and all of the things we've sent out, all of the satellites and everything is fake because nothing has ever exited this firmament. And so some people believe the sun is inside the firmament, some people believe the sun is outside the firmament, and that's really kind of depending on what argument they're trying to do mental gymnastics around.
Yeah.
Because in every case, though, the sun doesn't go underneath the Earth; it goes around it. It goes around it in flat Earth theory. So it just
Okay.
where the fuck does the sun go in a sunset? Because I can go to the beach tonight and watch the sun disappear.
Yeah. And then it's
behind
dark
the waves,
for
and then
12
it's
hours.
dark after that,
Yeah.
and then there's no more sun, and then I
Yeah.
can't look up in the sky and see that it's actually just really, really far over in New Jersey, and I can't see New Jersey from my fucking house. Sarah Palin, she could not see Russia. She couldn't do it.
Yeah. Honestly, the flat Earth is one of the ones too that there's so many people who are willing to die on that hill. And it's
Well,
like
and I think it's because of there's like celebrity endorsement behind it. B.O.B. said
I
that
was
he
just
proved,
gonna say that. I just saw that. Oh my God. Like literally,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
he said he was going to prove with math and science that it was real, and that's when Neil deGrasse Tyson was like, absolutely fucking not. I am the granddaddy geek, and you will not be saying that you're using math for this. And he basically debunked everything that B.O.B. said.
You will not be
And that's
using
the
it.
thing. For every single flat Earth argument, I can find 10 videos debunking that by reputable, valid sources
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
did real science, conducted real experiments.
Yeah.
A lot of flat Earth is hypothetical experiments. It's like, if you go and do this and this, it'll happen. And it's like nobody actually goes out and does the science.
Right. Yeah. That's
And
funny.
additionally, what the fuck is a solar eclipse? A lunar eclipse. When the Earth is in between the sun and the moon, right? When that creates a shadow. And the
Yeah.
shadow is curved, is it not?
It's a sphere.
And do you know the only object that is able to make a curved shadow no matter what angle light is hitting it from? It's a sphere.
A sphere.
Only a sphere can give you a curved shadow from every single angle. Doesn't matter what angle you're shining from, you will get a curve from the sphere. So lunar eclipse, why are we sideways during that time?
Right.
Like, it's just confusing. It's just very confusing. But
I just realized my muff wasn't on. I don't know when it fell off or at what point, but Anyway,
I
I had to put it
didn't
back
even
on.
notice.
I had to say something because I couldn't just randomly put it on. Anyway, flat Earth people are very special, and
I just want to know why you're ignoring science.
yeah, because I mean, and this is just what people do in general. Like they say something's a conspiracy, and then when somebody proves them wrong, they say that's a conspiracy too.
Literally that.
Like
I'm like,
your
well,
experiment, I don't trust your experiment. Well, I don't trust your science.
like literally. There's
Science
this
doesn't rule
episode.
me.
There's
What?
this episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they're in an argument and they're each trying to prove their point and prove their case about something super arbitrary, didn't matter. But one of the things that happened is Mac was trying to prove that one of the characters' name is Mac. He's trying to
Yeah.
prove that science isn't always right. Okay. And so he had this huge demonstration where he was like, this guy thought he could Aristotle. He thought this, and this. He also thought he could eat gold and died with lead poisoning, and just prove that this guy said the Earth was round. Turns out it was just like he found a bunch of instances and where scientific people said one thing and then they were disproven later on.
Okay.
And he ends with
He
science
discredits
is
the
a liar.
witness.
He says science is a liar sometimes. It's basically what he said, and I just can't get that out of my head. And that's just what I think of when I think of them. Just
Is
science is a
that
liar sometimes.
is that the one? Is that the iconic meme where he's like next to the
No.
oh.
That's Sylvie Pepe or something. He's working in a mailroom, and this guy keeps getting mail, but he's been like, I don't know what he's been doing. He's just not equipped to work. He's not equipped for that.
Okay.
And so Pepe Sylvie, his name was Pepe Sylvie. There was somebody who kept getting mail to the office, but he said he couldn't find that person here. And so he came up with this whole big conspiracy about who Pepe Sylvie was and why he was getting mail to this office. And it was just really silly. But shout out conspiracies. Anyways, flat Earth. There are 100 ways to prove that the Earth is round right now, and 0 ways to prove that the Earth is flat.
Dude.
And not only that, they're basically saying that everything from NASA is fake and doctored. And what was funny is I was watching Bill Nye, and I was also watching Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about this, and they're like, do you know how much paperwork it takes to do anything at NASA? And I didn't think about it, and I was like, probably a lot. They said the amount of fabricated paperwork that they would have to come up with, it would just make more sense to do the thing. Like the amount of hours and time spent on fabricating the paperwork, just go to the moon. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically you're saying that everyone at NASA is one of the things that they cling on to is they say NASA admits to photoshopping images of the Earth, right?
Right.
And what that means is they take 1,000 fucking images and put them together to create this image of the Earth because the Earth is so fucking huge. It's kind of hard to snap a picture of it all by itself. So you got to take a bunch of pictures of it and render this fucking image based off of these thousands of images.
Yeah.
And so people from NASA have come forward and said, yeah, we do Photoshop. And then the flat earthers were like, yeah, we know it. Yeah. That means the Earth is flat.
These people are just so stupid. There are lots of things in beliefs and belief systems that are totally respectable. And yeah, that
why
is
this
dope.
though?
Yeah, right, exactly. But
what about your life is going to change if the Earth is flat? You still have to pay rent next week.
You do.
You do. And I know when this episode's coming out. Yeah, next week you're paying rent. The first is coming.
Yeah.
My life is not going to change if the Earth is flat. I'm not going to the firmament. I'm not going to the ice wall. I'm still staying here, selling my nude photos on OnlyFans and paying my rent. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
if there was weed, I'm going to do my thing.
Yeah. if there was an ice wall, like I might be.
Go vlog it.
Yeah. Like,
Be like, yes, come with me to the edge of the earth.
period. Exactly.
It's actually pretty cool, pretty nice. They do have a restaurant here.
Yeah.
It's called End of Earth.
It is pretty cold. It's kind of icy.
It's actually not even real ice though. Can you believe it? They just made this whole thing. Yeah, you saw their map where that big circle around it, that white thing is the ice wall.
Right. I did see that.
And do you see how big the fucking ocean is too? Just, which, granted, yes, the ocean is fucking huge, but in that map, it's enormous.
What is going on with South America?
A lot's going on with South America.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just opened the photo to your feed again.
You're welcome for that.
Jesus Christ, that was so funny. All right, let's dive into this. So I have 12 conspiracy theories that actually turned out to be true. Okay, it says the Dead Baby Project. The conspiracy. The government was stealing dead bodies to do radioactive testing. The truth. The government was stealing parts of dead bodies because they needed young tissue. They recruited a worldwide network of agents to find recently deceased babies and children and then take samples and even limbs, each collected without notification or permission of the more than 1,500 grieving families.
Oh my fucking God. That is insane.
And that's what I'm saying. So this came out. Do you think people can keep secrets? No.
They can't.
They fucking can't.
They definitely wouldn't be able to keep an ice wall a secret.
A flat earth? Are you kidding me? They couldn't even keep dead babies a fucking secret.
Yeah.
All right.
The next one is the conspiracy is during Prohibition, the government poisoned alcohol to keep people from drinking. The truth is, well, it says crazy conspiracy theories almost always suggest the government is behind it all, which is so true. But it says, and they were right again. Manufacturers of industrial alcohol have been mixing their product with dangerous chemicals for years prior to Prohibition, but between 1926 and 1933 the government pushed manufacturers to use stronger poisons to discourage bootleggers from turning the alcohol into moonshine. That didn't stop the bootleggers or their customers, it says. And by the end of Prohibition, more than 10,000 Americans had been killed by tainted booze. Wow. Damn, that's crazy.
Next conspiracy. A stroke rendered President Woodrow Wilson incapable of governing, and his wife surreptitiously stepped in. That's not how the government works, by the way. Your wife, Jill Biden, isn't going to start making decisions. Jill shouldn't start making decisions if Joe takes a little tumble again.
Yeah.
But here's the truth. Wilson did suffer a debilitating stroke towards the end of his presidency, but the government felt it was in the country's best interest to keep things quiet. The public didn't learn about the stroke for months, during which time his wife, Edith Wilson, was making most executive decisions. Despite Mrs. Wilson claiming that she acted only as a steward, historians who have analyzed the Wilson term in office confirmed that for well over a year, Mrs. Wilson was effectively president.
What?
What year was Woodrow Wilson? Like, it looks old.
I think like 30s, 40s.
Yeah, it's the attire of the time is giving that. That's crazy.
No, it was not way before that, but 1913 to 1921.
Okay, so he was one of the first. Not really, but early.
One of them.
I'm bad at history.
He was the 28th president.
Damn.
You're like, oh, so he was back with like George Washington and shit.
Yo, I thought. No, this country older than I thought. I thought we started in the 1900s. Like, we just like, poof, we're here. No, that's when the Industrial Revolution started.
Cars and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. All right, next one.
But that is pretty crazy. I'm forgetting that these arcs, they came out to be true. Like, when you finished reading that, I was like,
No way.
What?
But it's real.
All
That
of them are gonna
happened.
be, yeah. Um, so the next conspiracy on this list is that the CIA was testing LSD and other hallucinogenic drugs on Americans in a top secret experiment on behavior modification.
Oh, like mind control.
Yes. Well, yes. Like I think what they were doing was they were using it in like interrogations. So
Interesting.
they were like trying to, yeah, they were trying to get people to tell the truth. The program was known as MK Ultra, and it was real. And the CIA started by using volunteers. They had a novelist that was one notable subject, but the program had soon began dosing people without their knowledge, and they left many victims permanently mentally disabled. Whoa. I watched like a dramatized, yeah, fucking gnarly. There was some guy who like committed suicide. That's I guess I shouldn't say that, but I'm pretty sure what I watched was like based on a real story, and they're definitely they severely affected people.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Fucked
All
up,
right.
dude.
Next one. The Dalai Lama's impressive salary. Conspiracy. The Dalai Lama is a CIA agent. The truth. Perhaps the reason the Dalai Lama is smiling in all those photos has something to do with the six-figure salary he pulled down from the US government during the 1960s. According to declassified intelligence documents, he earned $180,000 in connection with the CIA's funding of the Tibetan resistance to the tune of 1.7 million per year.
Damn.
The idea was to disrupt and hamper China's infrastructure. So they paid the Dalai Lama basically to aid in the Tibetan resistance. Wow.
Well,
It's not that
the
crazy to me
Dalai
though.
Lama is fucking weird, and I don't like him
Yeah.
because, yeah, we all saw that fucking trying to ask a kid to kiss his tongue. Okay, the next conspiracy is that the FBI was spying on former Beatle John Lennon. Like many counterculture heroes, Lennon was considered a threat. Anti war songs like Give Peace a Chance didn't exactly endear former Beatle John Lennon to the Nixon administration. In 1971, the FBI put Lennon under surveillance, and the Immigration and Naturalization Service tried to deport him a year later. Wow. I'm not surprised at that.
Almost all of these have to do with the government.
Yeah. Look at the
All
next
right.
one.
I
Oh, did
know.
you just.
Conspiracy. The government's spying on you. With the advances in technology, the government is using its vast resources to track citizens. In 2016, government agencies sent 49,868 requests for user data to Facebook, 27,850 to Google, and 9,076 to Apple, according to the Electronic Frontier Foundation. And this is a major nonprofit organization that defends civil liberties in the digital world and advises the public on matters of internet privacy. You've probably also heard that your computer camera could be used to spy on you. Here's the real likelihood that someone's watching. Oh, well, it's like another link, but
Yeah.
I'm not clicking
Yeah.
that.
This is also a huge fucking. Did you ever watch the I mean there's been lots of things on Ed Snowden, but do you know who that is?
Edward Snowden, yeah, he's the guy
Yeah.
who leaked everything.
Yeah. There's like a device that they have that like collects all the data on every single device in its general vicinity. Like it could like if they take it through a neighborhood, it'll collect all the data from every device from every person in the neighborhood. I don't remember
What?
what they called it. Yeah, that exists. They used it like during like they've used it since, remember, because you know how there was a law around 9/11 where they could
Yeah,
just
Patriot
invade
Act.
our the Patriot Act. So they've been using like a device like that in, I don't know when it was invented, but yeah, it has a name, Stingray, and
That
that was
doesn't
part of.
I know it's an invasion of privacy, but I just don't care.
I know. I mean, like I know I'm not doing anything wrong, like
You
so.
wanna know what I look at on porn? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, like it's fucking, yeah. But I also like I understand where people are coming from with like privacy. Like the government should not be able to. But also, yeah, it's like if you're not hiding anything, then I would be fine if they took my data in order to find a fucking horrible criminal. Like, fuck yeah, take my data.
Mhm. Literally, fine. I don't care.
Yeah. This next one says, for decades, tobacco companies buried evidence that smoking is deadly. And the truth is, at the beginning of the 1950s, research was showing an indisputable statistical link between smoking and lung cancer. But it wasn't until the late 1990s that Philip Morris, the nation's largest cigarette maker at the time, admitted that smoking could cause cancer. So that's 40 years of,
Death, lung
yeah,
cancer,
yeah,
and cigarettes being like, "No. No."
yeah.
Yeah, that warning, that Surgeon General warning is new. That's from the 90s. Like, they have it on the packaging saying, "This product could cause cancer."
Right, right.
All right, next one. Conspiracy. The Gulf of Tonkin incident on August 2nd, 1964 was faked to provoke American support for the Vietnam War. The truth. By the time news reached American ears, the facts surrounding the North Vietnamese attack on the American naval ship Maddox were already fuzzy. Declassified intelligence documents have since revealed that the Maddox had provided support for South Vietnamese attacks on a nearby island and that the North Vietnamese were responding in kind, according to the U.S. Naval Institute. The event opened the floodgates for direct American military involvement in Vietnam. So they basically helped South Vietnam attack North Vietnam, and North Vietnam responded to the attack. And that's what they reported was
Mhm.
the attack on the ship, even though what do we do? We went and poked the bear again. What do we do?
Yeah. I'm sure I can't there's probably been countless times that that has happened.
All right, we
That
got a couple
somebody
more.
provoked something. Yeah. There is alien evidence in the American Southwest. Um conspiracy.
ET is buried in the
Yeah, ET is buried in the desert of New Mexico. This one is real. The Atari video game ET failed so miserably that the company buried unsold cartridges in a desert landfill. I don't know when this article is from, but we do know it's from
There's
2022. We know that there is evidence of aliens that the government has.
they've declassified it.
Right. We know
Yeah.
that now. So,
All right. Happy Pride Month. Canada tried to develop a gaydar. Conspiracy. The Canada government was so paranoid about homosexuality that it developed a gaydar machine. The truth. It really happened. In the 1960s, the government hired a university professor to develop a way to detect homosexuality in federal employees. He came up with a machine that measured pupil dilation in response to same sex erotic imagery. The Canadian government used it to exclude or fire more than 400 men from civil service, the military, and the Mounties. The American government is just as guilty with blah, 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 blah. So this, yeah, Canada did this, but the American government also
wow.
did stupid shit too. Damn.
That is absolutely fucking insane. They used Canadian tax dollars on that.
Yeah,
That is
citizens
fucking
paid for
insane.
that.
That is fucking crazy. We think of Canada as this like,
No, Canada's just their hands just as dirty.
yeah.
They're just like, how you doing though?
Yeah. Yeah. They're like sorry.
Sorry,
Um
sorry, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
sorry about that. uh the last conspiracy on our list is that a secret society rules the world. Oh, that rules the world. The Illuminati and the US National Security Agency are in cahoots. We're here to tell you that a link does in fact exist. Of course, that link is actually a hyperlink, an electronic link between two internet sites. Okay, so
Oh
uh,
god, that's
this
annoying. It's
one's
just connecting you to something different.
yeah. If you go to this link, it'll say you'll go to the NSA website. It's Illuminati spelled backwards, but let me tell you exactly how easy it is to make that happen. Remember when WeedTube existed? R.I.P. WeedTube. Miss you so much. Love you. Mac Dizzle had the wonderful idea to make tequila tube, alcohol tube, I don't know what else tube
All
dot
the
com
tubes.
forward to weedtube.com. So I don't believe that. I honestly do believe that there is some sort of like, I don't think it's as organized as people think, but I do
I
feel
did some
like,
research
did
on
you?
Illuminati.
We need to
Yeah, I
go, we
did.
need to go into that like more for sure on another day because
Yeah.
I feel like there is
Technically,
meetings
they're
and
not even around
such.
anymore. Like, they might still be around, but they disbanded a long time ago because there was a king who basically banned all secret societies. And at that point, like, they kind of lost record of what happened with them.
Oh.
But, like, that's just, like, what I learned today. Like, I could probably dive in and find out where they picked it back up because there's, like, a
Yeah.
lot. But it just started as a secret society, and they were trying to infiltrate rich aristocrats and make them more enlightened.
Interesting.
It was an enlightening club. And then they
Okay.
became, like, rich, and then the Freemasons kind of
Gotcha.
fucking branched off of that, but the Freemasons started as like an actual
Illuminati. Yeah.
masonry group. Like, they just didn't want to share their skills with everybody, so they created like a little club to be like, no, hiding our skills.
Oh.
Yeah, and they were like
Okay.
really, yeah. There's a lot, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take this hit of my strawberry sherbet. Shout out High 90s. Again, check out their merch. Their merch is available everywhere. It's very cute. Discount code
Discount
2GB will
code.
be
Period.
2G1B. We'll save you some money.
Yeah. Shout out High 90s. We love them. We want you to love them too.
Yes, please go follow them on Instagram. Please engage with their content. Tell them we sent you. Tell them we love you.
Period.
And yeah, just be great. And ask for High 90s at your local dispensary. If you're in California and you want to try them and you just can't seem to find them, first of all, you can find them on Weed Maps. They have that little thing where you can like be like, "Hey, where can I find this brand?" They'll show you. It's actually a good app. Hate them. Great app. But ask your favorite dispensary if they're not there. Get them in there.
Period.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Whew. Let's do a little fan question before we get out of here. I know I asked this question to you. I asked you, there was a two-parter and one of them was to you and we asked you last week. Oh fuck. Oh my god. I was like, no. But it says to me, if you could survive without a lib or a ligament, which body part would you choose? And he said you'd have to dismember it yourself. I would like for you to
I guess like a toe.
That's not a bad idea. A toe's a perfect
Is
idea, actually.
is that like a ligament still? Or a phalange?
It is a phalange. I don't know. I don't remember what ligaments are. Like, is it it's the connects the joint to the muscle, or does it connect the joint to the joint? Or bone to bone?
I don't know.
There's a tendon and there's a ligament. Anyway,
I would like to keep all of them.
I know. But toe is a really good answer. And so for that reason, I'm going to have to piggyback and say a toe. Because I was really thinking, like, there's no way to answer that question. Simply, I just can't do it.
LOL.
So,
All
anyway,
right, well,
thank
if
you
you have
for
a
that
question for
question.
us,
Yeah.
if you have a question for us, drop it in the comments, and we will answer it next week. And we will see you next
week. Yes.
Can't wait
Thanks
for that.
for tuning in, guys.
If you enjoy this podcast, remember to share it with your friends. And if you don't, I will go to Antarctica and I will slap a penguin, and a penguin doesn't deserve that. I'm going to go to the ice wall and I'm going to go bang on the firmament. I'm going to go jettison my way up into the firmament.
What's the firmament again?
It's the dome that surrounds the earth and keeps the atmosphere in.
Right.
Yes. Keeps the space outside. Keeps the space out of here. Yeah. All right. Love you. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Love you guys.